Okay. So later I will also start from Sabrina, and then we'll just follow this order. Okay. My question is about the 2030 bilingual policy. You know that MOE has announced, that our government basically announced this 2030 bilingual national policy. So despite the well-intended goal of internationalization, this policy has been criticized as being too unrealistic. And I would like to know what is your view on this policy. But since this is a national policy, some of the schools has been thinking about how to implement this policy and turn that, plan that into their curriculum. So as the English teacher in the school, it's very likely that the principal or your boss, the director will ask you to help out. So how would you help with other subject teachers? And because they need to teach their subjects in English, like sports, okay, or about health issues, about different maths, okay, all these different subjects. So what would you do?
Nobody? I wish I can answer this one.
You could later.
So,
So Sabrina, we will
This is
start from
speaking.
you.
Okay.
Milan, you'll be the second one, okay?
Okay.
Yes.
So I think I'm quite positive about this policy because I think it's a great opportunity for the teachers to improve their English skills and also to help more students to be proficient in English. Although there are some criticisms that the teachers might not be equipped with this skill so soon, I think that the government can have some policies to encourage teachers. Like, for example, if the teachers pass more English proficiency tests and they become more proficient in English, they can have more salary, or the government can also help them to participate in some workshops to improve their English skills. So I think that this policy is intended to cultivate the international perspectives for both teachers and students, and the purpose is great. Although there are some problems about how to dealing with the challenges, I think that it's good to have this policy, and teachers, students, and governments can also figure out a good solution together. So I think that it's a great policy, and everyone can also benefit from it.
Okay, but how would you help then?
Like I said, I think government can have some encouragement policies for teachers, like if they go to the workshops or to pass the proficiency test.
Wait, no. I mean, you as the English teacher, how would you help other teachers?
I think that if I am a teacher who is proficient in English, I will use my free time to teach other teachers and to design several materials, class materials, to help them if they have to teach other subjects in English. And I will also help them, assist them if they are not that good at English. So I think that it's a challenging task, but I will do more progressive and help them together.
Okay, thank you. Phelan? It's
Yes,
your
can you
turn.
hear me?
Yes.
So I think that the policy is great. Is sorry, could you repeat the question again?
My question is, you as the English teacher, how would you help with other subject teachers who need to design lessons and teach in English?
Yes. For the policy, as for my understanding, it's called 课室英文, the classroom English. So for how to improve other subjects, well, I think that I will implement two methods. The first one is to aid a Chinese translation in some vocabulary for them to understand the words better. And the second method is to teach some basic vocabulary of the specific subject. For example, for the geography, I may teach them about some vocabulary such as 盆地, the English of these words, and so they may get a basic understanding of the subject instead of just teaching them with full English, all English. Yes. That may be more easy for them to understand. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, Vivian, right?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I think that while this is a good policy, because English is such an important language nowadays and will be also very important in the future, I still think it's a bit too unrealistic, because many many people, because I taught elementary school students before, and I thought that maybe fifth graders would be able to introduce themselves, just say my name is blah blah blah, but they didn't know how to do so. And so I feel like having to teach all these students from elementary to high school to college all in bilingual is quite unrealistic. I think students will find it too difficult to take in everything. And I also feel like teachers would have a hard time teaching in bilingual. And as for helping other teachers, as I said, it would be very difficult, but I think that one good solution would be to teach basic vocabulary, such as for PE class, teach this is a ball, kick ball, like that. Even though it wouldn't be like that accurate, it still can get the point across. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And next, it would be Grace.
Hi. So, about the bilingual policy, even though I also think it is unrealistic, but I think it is essential for the students to improve their English ability. And I also have similar learning experience. In my junior high school year, I studied in a private school where we use English to learn math and also social study. So I think this experience is actually pretty interesting, and students are attracted to English because of these subjects. So I'll be willing to help other teachers, of course. So I will try my best to help other subjects teacher to use English to teach in their class. So I think I can design the lesson plans and also make the teaching materials with other teachers. And through our discussion and helping each other, it should be beneficial to the students.
Okay, thank you. And the last one, Mia.
Okay, I consider this policy to be idealistic, that it's really hard for us whose mother tongue is not English to have a bilingual society. However, it doesn't mean that we cannot do it, but it does need plenty of time to do so. And for the help of English teacher, I think that we can work with teachers from other subjects and help them with making teaching materials. For example, English teachers can publish some books listing some vocabularies in different subjects, like a math teacher might need to know how to say a word if he is teaching some calculation with triangle. So by doing so, I think we still can be positive for this policy if we can find a way to work together. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all very much. Okay, so we still have about 10 minutes to wrap up. Andy, do you have any general comments? Yes.
Me, always.
That you like to suggestions I would like to make to remind them things that they will need to take into consideration later on when they prepare for a job interview.
Yes, thank you for cueing me. Guys and girls, this is the ideal classroom that you all desire. You know, everybody understands everything, but your classes are not going to be like this at all. You know, all the children, you are not going to be able to talk to them in full sentences. And even in all English sentences, they probably don't catch all the meaning. So I just wanted to say that, you know, this is the ideal classroom. And I'm talking about the 2030 bilingual nation policy too, because I think this is what the government wants to see, right? They want to see that we can all converse in English and Chinese and maybe another language too. But look at us. We do not know this when we were kids, and we were not educated like the policy wants, not as the policy. So how can we be bilingual? We cannot be bilingual unless there are already bilingual teachers. And even with bilingual teachers, we cannot really help the students to be bilingual if their parents are not bilingual at all. So I went to those big seminars in Zhengda University. They have experimental education seminars, and they were talking about this policy maybe last or 2 years ago. And everybody shared, all the professors, the doctors, they shared their comments on this, their suggestions. And I was sitting there thinking, it's not going to work at all. But this is a must. This policy must go on. We cannot just not do it because it's unrealistic. We cannot do it just because it's not realistic or it's too idealistic. We must do it because after we reach 2030, chances are we failed, but the society has had this push towards a slightly more or less better level of English education. All the teachers, not just English, they are more either encouraged or threatened, because of their survival. If they don't know English, they probably don't get hired. So everybody improved. Everybody at large, everybody improved to a new level. Sorry, I'm talking too much. But after the seminar, my whole idea for this policy is that it is doomed. We are doomed to fail this policy because we're doing it upside down. All the teachers, all the doctors, they're talking about how to implement this policy from the bottom up. And think about, let's recall our memories. When you first had your English lessons, I don't know how old you are, but probably first grade in elementary school. And you guys are doing very well, but outside of FJU, you go to a different university, it's a whole new, it's very different. If you're not in the English department, chances are you probably don't speak, or maybe you know some words. So how is the 2030 policy so different from how we were educated? It's mostly the same. So that's why I'm gonna advertise myself a little. That's why I started this independent group. It's called Freedom Language, and I don't aim to teach children anymore. I've been teaching children for maybe the first 10 years of my career, and I just don't see how it can work. You make money teaching children, but it doesn't really help them that much. You can find the greatest student who really wanted to learn English, but his or her family does not approve, or he doesn't have the environment to use the things he learns or she learns. But the parents usually always keeps asking, how you're doing on tests. So I gave all that up, not because I don't like them. I love them. I love children, but I shift my focus on teaching, helping adults, helping teachers teach, helping parents teach their children, and not relying on, all the, let's say, not every teacher wants to be a teacher. Some teachers are teaching for money. So if the parents know how education is about, they wouldn't fall into the lies of those business teachers so much. So my solution or my stand on the policy is that we need to focus not just children, but more on adults. You are all teaching children in the future, but teaching children are not enough. If you really want to help them, you have to help their parents too. Their parents are not paying you extra, but let me be clear, they're not paying you extra, but you need to involve them into your teaching to their children. Otherwise, you're just making money. Well, that's fine too, if that's how you want to be. But if you have ideals like me, then teaching children are not enough. Sorry, I just remember you said 1 minute.
Yeah, that's why. You could have 3 because you're the interviewer.
I could have 5 hours. I wrote very long letters to the doctors in the seminar. They didn't respond.
So. That's a very interesting topic indeed. Right, I also would like to respond to, since the question comes from me, there's an issue that I care deeply, and I really found that this is part of our reality as English teachers. And for all the interviewees, I could really feel that you're passionate about teaching, that you like to bring your trainings and devote yourself into these careers. And this is really something we all need to think about. I actually write down what Andy says, that I take notes, right? That when you're teaching, you are really not just teaching for the test so that they get good grades. You also need to care for this person who you are working with, be it just one student that you're working with or a group of them, because it's that interactions and I've been teaching freshman English for about 10 years as well. I really see a lot of students who are frustrated with English, not just because of the language itself, but because of their past experiences. Right. So I'll just wrap up. I think it's about time. Thank you really, Andy, for your time and the questions that you ask. And also we do feel your passion for teaching as well. I hope that we'll have another chance to invite you back for a talk.
Yeah, and I have so much passion, it hurts.
Thank you. It's a pity that we have to do this online, but it's also a good opportunity, really, because we all need to get used to this mode of interaction. I hope that for all the interviewees today and the participants that you've learned something valuable about participating in an interview and how to better prepare yourself and deliver yourself and present yourself. And if you have other questions, you could stay. If not, that's the end of the section today, actually. Thank you.